Our last panel for today is titled Leveraging Online Spaces for Growth and will be hosted by Omolola Dada. Omolola is a marketing specialist with over half a decade of experience in the industry. Over the last years, she has empowered more than 50 individuals to launch successful marketing careers, spoken at several events, launched resources for businesses, and partnered with clients globally. As the founder of Awani Digital, she is committed to propelling her clients to the top. Now, speaking on this panel are four amazing individuals that have some expertise in using online spaces to reach their audience: Janet Machuka, Itiayo, Patty the Strategist, and Othman Tmoulik. Janet Machuka is a social media marketing strategist, content creator, digital marketing expert, and trainer. She's the founder of Africa Tweetchat Community and ATC Digital Academy, an edtech startup for digital marketing courses. She also runs an agency, Sparks Corporate, that serves both local and international brands. Itiayo is an event and portrait photographer and lifestyle content creator who founded BOJ Studios in 2019. With a BSc in economics, she transitioned into photography in 2016 and has since grown her Instagram following to over 100,000 followers. She has collaborated with brands like Coca-Cola, Nanlite, and is passionate about visual storytelling and cinematic visuals. Patience Sangmore, widely known as Patty the Strategist, is a marketing and sales expert with a solid history in Ghana's marketing and advertising industry. She specializes in consumer behavior, digital marketing, personal branding, and creative marketing strategies. She uses her social media to teach marketing and entrepreneurship to under-resourced entrepreneurs, helping them increase their revenue and build successful businesses. Othman Tmoulik is an entrepreneur, founder, and global leader in digital marketing and personal development. Before the age of 30, Othman achieved $6 million in sales from his online courses and has dedicated his career to empowering African entrepreneurs to reach new heights in the digital age, leading a movement of aspiring business leaders who are transforming their lives and communities by leveraging online tools to generate American-level income from within Africa. So, are you ready to learn how to use the internet to grow your business? This panel is just for you.
Hi everyone. Hi. Good evening.
Hey, super excited to be here and honored. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Itiayo. Hi, Janet. Hi, Patty, the strategist. Hi, Otman.
Hi.
Um, Good to have you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for doing this. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the final session of today. And I know we've been having an amazing time so far in the Digital Creator Summit 2024. So, this is going to be a very interesting session because we know that a lot of people out there, creatives, a lot of people out there want to know how they can leverage their online presence. They want to know how they can leverage their online audience. They want to know how they can leverage it for growth, right? And personally, I would say that I'm someone that, let me say, I'm a testimony to this, right? So I started out on social media. I started with selling products, and then I thought, oh, if I could be successful at doing this, then I can help others, right? And that's how I got into marketing. I started to work in an agency, right? And right after that, I started freelancing. I started getting clients across the globe, and it just started expanding, right? And that's how I had to now like start my own agency called Awani Digitals. So I know that the digital space presents us with a lot of opportunities out there, and if leveraged correctly, we can use it as a catalyst for our growth. So yeah, I'll just go straight into the question. So this one is a general question for everyone, so anybody can just go first. So we'd like to talk about our journey, right? So I just briefly shared mine. So we just like to hear about your journey as a creator. What are some of the things you did when you were starting out? And yes, how did it play a major role in where you are today? So yes, anyone can just go first.
I guess I'll go first.
All right, thank you.
First of all, I want to say a massive, massive, massive thank you for having me here. I'm really honored. I was actually a very last minute addition to this summit. So I'm really grateful and excited to be here. I'm also new in Africa. I'm born and raised in Canada. I'm originally Moroccan, so I am African too. And I now live in Africa, so it's really exciting for me to be here. And we just started serving the African market, so I'm really excited for that as well, because I realized that just giving a little bit goes such a long way here, and I'm super excited for that to be helping people out. For the journey, for me, anyways, I just wanted to enjoy life more, really. And it was me and my wife only when we just got married, and I knew my wife 3 days before I asked her to marry me. Literally, third day I met her, I asked her to marry me. She said yes. Actually, sorry. After a day and a half, I asked her to marry me. We're driving. She looked around on the other side, and she's like. And then we basically set all the expectations, and then day 3 we decided to get married, and then we were married a couple weeks later. And when we got married, I actually got into a car accident, and it was pretty bad, and I couldn't walk anymore, and I had a cast on my leg, and my job was door-to-door sales. I couldn't work anymore, so I started searching how to make money online, and that was 2016. And I bought my first online course, and that week I ran some ads online on Facebook, and I made my first sale. It was $10. My profit was just $1, but I was jumping on literally one leg because I had a cast on. I'm gonna become a millionaire. I'm gonna become so rich. And then I decided to quit my job, and then because now I'm gonna become rich, right? 4 months later, we got evicted because I could no longer afford paying rent because the money used in my ads wasn't profitable anymore. But then my wife and I looked at each other, and even though it was difficult, those were the best couple months ever because we're trying to live life on our own terms, and it felt really nice. So we gathered a couple of dollars. We sold every little thing we had in the house, like the little fan for $5, a little soccer ball that I had for like $3, anything we can. We bought one-way tickets to Malaysia, and we're like, if this money doesn't last when we're there, she will do like henna. I don't know if you guys know henna. Yeah, henna. She'll do henna for people at the beach, like tourists, and we'll use that to like sleep at hostels. And then we kept doing that, and then about 4 or 5 months later, we had our first $100,000 month. And so for me, my biggest advice to everybody here when it comes to where do you start or get started is just live life the way you want to live it. The way we operate anyways is like we just start and we suffer with the consequences later on. At least we're living on our own terms. That's just our thing. Just do it. Just start. And you're gonna fail. And look at failures as stepping stones. You now know what doesn't work. Keep going, keep failing. It's a good thing. And just like the previous speaker said, you just know what doesn't work. Then what does work, do more of that and just start. So for your journey, just start. Even if it's hard, start. Have a partner, a friend, a colleague that will just cheer you on every step of the way and say, you know what, we got this. I remember I asked her, I'm going to give the floor to somebody else, but I asked her once, I'm like, if this ad doesn't work, like we're going to get evicted. She's like, I trust you. And if it doesn't work, it's fine. We'll keep trying. And we kept trying, and it didn't work. It failed. We kept trying. And until this day, I made millions. I lost millions of US dollars, and we keep going. At least I'm living life on my own terms. So for everybody here, just start. You got this. Yeah, you're muted, Amala.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I loved your story, right? And indeed, if we don't start, we really can never tell how far we can go, or we can tell the things that we are capable of doing. We can't really tell until we start, right? Thank you so much. Who wants to share next? Okay, Janet.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hi. It's really nice to listen to your story, Othman. And I like how you weaved the aspect of failure. One thing I know about success, if it doesn't involve failure, then maybe you're missing out on something. And the beauty about every success journey, it does have and must have scars. And the scars are part of the failures. For my end, my journey started in, I usually say, a funny way. I'm a media personnel as a background, and this started way back when I was in campus. But when I was doing my internship, I was asked to do to make sure that I push traffic to the website. Okay. Now, from social media to the website, I didn't actually know social media marketing or anything to do with digital marketing. And I think that is how I found out the world of digital marketing. And then I gave you myself a goal to learn from people. And I'm a very good person when it comes to connecting with people, bringing people together. I used it as one of my mantle to actually grow myself. So from 2017 to date, I usually say it's the people that I've presented myself in front of, the people I have listened to, the people I have helped understand a few things about digital marketing are actually growing me. So, having said that, community is very important to me. And that is how my journey has been all through, about people, talking to people, expressing myself to people, listening to people's challenges, and also making sure that I'm growing that person who feels like a person like Janet cannot, sometimes people feel like a person like Othman cannot listen to them because they're like, oh, I'm a very small fish. But the moment you give that person an opportunity, they always give you an opportunity to be referred to another client, recommended. And that is how I've been growing myself over the years. And one thing that I live by is show up for people who will show up for you. For me, being part of this conversation at Selar, it's me showing up for the people who showed up for us tonight. And that means this is part of my journey still. I feel like I haven't reached the peak. Yes, I know I am a rising star in our continent, but we can do more. And I love the fact that earlier, when I was being introduced, Omolola talked about what I do majorly. I love community building, and that is what I usually do for brands too. Even from my agency perspective, that is what we do. We build communities from a point of we want to teach and we want to learn at the same time. So that is what I live by. I don't want to share much. I think for those who will connect with me after this session, will be able to learn more about each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. I like that you mentioned community building. I like that you mentioned community because if we are going to leverage the online space, then we have to be very intentional about building community. No wonder you have the largest marketing community in Africa on X, and that's a really good one. Thank you for sharing. All right, who wants to share next?
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Itiayo. Nice to be here with everyone. So for me, I I wanted to grow my photography business basically. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I was trying to grow my photography business, and it was at a time when Instagram started focusing more on videos as opposed to photos. So I just decided to give it a try because I really didn't know what to do. Photos were not being boosted as much as videos were being boosted. So I decided to start making videos. I had no idea. People think, well, I guess I had the advantage of photography, so the crossover wasn't so difficult, but I didn't know much about making videos. And I just started making videos at home in my room, and somehow we got here. I wasn't so focused on growing my page to where it is at. I just wanted to build a brand, sort of something little, because I realized that you want people to hire you for a job, and if they come on your page, it's not just about taking pictures. Anybody can take pictures. Anybody can do whatever service it is you're providing. There are many people that can provide that same service, but people want to know more about you now. This day and age, people want to know more about you and the person behind the brand, and so I just started making videos and kept getting better and better with time. People started connecting with my work. So beyond just getting followers, I started getting messages from people, and I think for me that was like the strangest part of it all because you're making videos in your home, and it's just to you it's just videos. You're just making videos, and then people start telling you how they are doing videos, how your videos rather are impacting them, and I think it motivated me to keep going basically. And yeah, That's basically how I started.
Thank you for sharing. One key thing I took from what you said is that you kept getting better, which is also another thing we want everyone to understand here. That once you start, you keep getting better. A lot of people make excuses on the way and say, oh, can I really make it? Can I really make it doing this, doing that? But we want you to know that it keeps getting better. Once you start, it keeps getting better every day. Okay, so over to you, Patty, the strategist.
Hi, thank you for having me. And thank you all for sharing your inspiring stories. I was going to say that Othman is born a salesman because if you can convince somebody to marry you within under 72 hours, then that is, yeah. So you are born a salesman. For my journey, I actually studied marketing for my undergrad, and I was just curious about bridging the gap between brands and consumers. I was always curious about seeing advertisements and how it got people to take action. So right out of the university, I was working with one of the top marketing agencies in Ghana. I worked there for 3 years, and I got to a point where I felt very exhausted of the routine. If you've worked in an agency, you know how, like, you don't get off the clock. And so I got exhausted. I was exiting to start another business, like a fashion brand. That was what I thought, until I quit my job ending of February 2020. And then by March 2020, we were under lockdown. Nobody is making clothes, nobody is going anywhere. So there was no possibility of me trying to make money from what I thought I was going to make money. But a very interesting thing happened. I took a business growth workshop because I wanted to know how to grow my fashion business properly. And then I met Trisha Bays. So Trisha Bays is one of the biggest creators in the Nigerian space. And then I realized that almost like 80% of the things she was talking about with regards to marketing, I knew it, and I had implemented with it with a lot of the multinational brands I got to work with when I was with the agency. And so I saw the opportunity to also toe the line of, nurturing people, training people, showing the SMEs the things, the principles the multinational brands are using. The only difference was, the marketing budgets and the resources available to them. And so that is how my creator journey started. I never called myself a salesperson. I never wanted to sell. But I quit my job also with zero savings. I didn't have any savings anywhere. It was such a huge risk. 4 years down the line, I am fully funding myself, my lifestyle, and I'm teaching businesses how to do same. So I would say that you don't get too hung on your current identity, because you are still discovering yourself. You're still discovering the things that you're able to do, you're capable of doing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love the fact that you mentioned Tricia, and from there you saw that, oh, there were a lot of possibilities that you could also leverage on. So yeah, thank you for sharing. So I'll be asking specific questions now. We'll still come back to some general questions. So over to you, Janet. What strategies did you use to grow your audience across country borders?
Wow, that's a really nice question, because I'm the kind of person who always loves bringing Africans together. And I'll draw it back to 2015 when I was building Facebook pages. And I think that is the time I felt like Facebook was the only right place for me to be before I discovered the other social media platforms. And I got this idea of, can I just bring Africans together so that I can know who is from Nigeria, who is from Tanzania? And I created a page. Once I created the page, it was very hard for me to know who exactly is from Nigeria. So what I did, I started asking people to recommend some people they know who are famous, people who love conversations, people who love connecting with other people through Facebook. And that is how I landed on WhatsApp. And then in WhatsApp, I gave every individual a task. You bring two people from your country, or you recommend someone from a country you know. So in that conversation, or rather in that WhatsApp group, we ended up becoming like a group of Africans who are sharing different things that we were going through, or even our conversations. Until such a point, I learned about Instagram, TikTok, not TikTok, then was not there, Twitter, presently X, and then LinkedIn. I stopped using the WhatsApp group, and then now I started building the social media platform. Social media, it was not that easy, especially now that people might ask me, how did you land on Twitter to a point of you're building now this global audience and you're focusing more on a community conversation that is African? When I landed on Twitter, my main problem was I could not find a place where I can have a conversation without the banters and the trolls, and those conversations where everyone is bringing the gossip, and you don't know exactly what to be part of as a conversation. That it was me. And then what I decided to do, one day I was like, I feel like I've grown in the mainstream media, because by then I was doing features, I was training students on how they can become journalists who can write for newspapers, who can write for the media houses. I was a hot cake then, because I was young, I was in campus at the same time writing for a mainstream media platform. And so everyone was calling me to their universities, talk to us, tell us, how did you land yourself in such a space? So coming to Twitter, for me, it felt like a space to now learn from other people and connect more people. So first things first, it was very hard for me to know where to start. But what actually helped me is that opportunity to just say it out loud to everyone. I was like, I don't know what I'm about to build, but I feel like I need to connect with people. Do you mind connecting me, recommending me, or writing handles of the people who fall under this category? Category number 1 was influencers. Category number 2 was content creators. Category number 3 was trainers. Because I remember all the categories. And then I got a lot of recommendations, over 300 replies. It was overwhelming at first. I took a whole month, that was 2018 January, to just text and DM every individual who was recommended. It was not easy. Imagine all that effort to just connect to these people. And everyone, I was asking them, I'm thinking of this idea to start a community in Africa where we can have conversations about business, about social media, about marketing. Honestly, I was not an expert. I won't lie to you. I was not an expert, but I just wanted to build a community of people who we can motivate each other to learn, to do research, and also to grow ourselves as brands in this space. And so, funny thing, only less than 30 people responded. And less than 30 people were like, okay, we can have you on, we can go to the WhatsApp group and maybe create something. But that was enough for me to start off. And then now bringing those people to WhatsApp, I was like, you guys are going to be like country heads in these conversations. And then what we are going to do, we are going to have conversations every Wednesday. We bring new guests. We have them present to us different topics and different conversations. We just have a list of questions, and then let us run with it. That is how we started. We started reaching out to people we thought we couldn't reach out to. The names in the industry, you can only see the list, and they are not Africans. They are the Europeans, in short. The people you might think it's very hard for you to actually reach out to them. So we started DMing them, tell them how nice they're doing their content, the way they have grown and then bring them closer, be like, okay, do we have this community conversation? Would you really like to be part of it and maybe teach us a few things? And because they were looking into finding a community of Africans also and connecting with Africans and expanding their brands, it was like, let me just spend that 1 hour and I can change everything. After some time, I found myself in groups with Gary Vee. I found myself in groups with people. I was like, oh my God, how did I land here? But the funny thing is, I was just first things first. I could save their numbers, and I'll be like, I'll reach out later. First, let me save this number before they kick me out of this group. Then I'll talk to them later. But that is how it started. And then I started opening up. At first, I was very timid. And sometimes I usually say social media actually has built me, because in real life, you couldn't find me speak like this. I used to be a very quiet person. And so that aspect of, can you push yourself to create a connection with Patty, create a connection with Othman. That actually alone helped me to know how to be vocal, how to spearhead that personal brand that I found someone actually on social media who helped me learn on how to approach social media from a business aspect. I was like, I'm just gonna be popular. Let the influencer thing come and let us make money. But it was like, how are you gonna make money if you don't have a business mindset? I was like, tell me more. Then he told me, do you know you can use this community aspect you have because you're a people person? And then you can package yourself to now looking at it from a point of you are a whole business. You can have a company, but you as an individual, you're a whole business. And then that drive of, can I know the next person? Can I help people grow? Can I help someone who has maybe 20 followers who feels like, you know what? Janet has 200,000 followers and I can't reach them. And I'm like, I'm here for you. Irregardless, I'm here for you. And that really changed the way I approached conversations and also looked at how everything is amazing other than competition. So for me, collaboration and community has been something that has spearheaded how I have grown, how I've expanded, how I've connected with people globally other than competition. And I will tell you for sure that is what has helped me because every time I see somebody doing something similar as I'm like, yo, can we collaborate? Because I also want to tap into your audience and you can tap into my audience. It's not about, oh, Othman is doing a similar thing as I need to find a way to be better than him. No, we are not competing. If we want to grow in this digital space and social media space, we need to collaborate. And that is my motto. Collaborate and not compete. Collaborate and create a community. Collaborate and grow together because high chances are everyone will have a piece of cake. If I have 10 clients who are doing the same thing and I'm overwhelmed, why can't I give some to Itiayo? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was really brilliant. That was really brilliant. I mean, collaboration always wins, collaboration over competition, right? And I'm also a firm believer that we cannot, of this saying that says you cannot grow in isolation, right? You need people, you need community, right? So we just need to be able to be open to collaborations, right? Look for people, how can they help you grow? And you also mentioned the fact that you were you were always coming to the community to say, I want to do this, how can I do this, I want to get this, so it was just about me. You said, oh, I don't know how to do this, so please, how can I connect? So it was just a beautiful one that you just told us. And yes, collaboration over competition. Thank you so much for that. And that leads me to the next question that says, so how do you balance creating content for for the local and international audiences?
That's really a good question, especially that I'm in Kenya and I'm a Kenyan, and sometimes we have very many hot topics that are happening in my country, and sometimes it can be very hard to know to what extent can I share some content. And now that we are a Swahili country, that's another problem. Sometimes we forget, we start speaking in Swahili, we forget that we are global personal brands. First things first, I actually decided to segment my social media platforms to approach content and also audience conversations differently. If I look at my Instagram, I feel like Instagram, I'm more of a Kenyan girl, a girl who's just trying to have fun, who doesn't need a lot of global uh, eyeballs checking on her or maybe wanting to know what is happening with her life. On LinkedIn, I'm this professional person who is like, I know I'm a trainer, I'm a strategist, I'm a brand manager, and I can teach you on ABCD. On Twitter, the murky waters. It's a very nice platform for those who are surprised or maybe wondering if they can build brands there. Twitter is very nice for you to grow in terms of segment the communities, go to the hashtag that you want. You can even just use the search engines to find magic. So this is how I go about my content. In a week, I usually treat Monday to Friday as this is my workspace. And at work, you're not going to have jokes. Yes, we can have jokes, but let's have specific times for jokes. I can't wake up on my Twitter and then start clubbing in the morning. That's not going to happen. I have to approach it from a point of, you know what? You guys are my people. I want to teach you a few things that I know that I've learned, or maybe a few news that is happening in around the space. And then from there, I can transition to something different, maybe something I love. By the time we get to the evening, I'm like, yo, we have to close work. We have to close our laptops. Let's have fun. Let's listen to music, and that is how I approach content. And even looking at how my audience has learned to grow with me and also learned my information sharing, my content sharing, they know Janet can't go to a certain extent. So I have like 4 industries that I represent most of the times, and you'll see that I will juggle around the conversations from Twitter to LinkedIn and also to Instagram. But first things first, I will tell someone, if you want to find that balance to create content across platforms from local to international, find platforms first that will push you international, and then other platforms that will keep you around your people. And at the end of the day, I usually say, if you're looking at your social media platform as your professional space, please, during the weekend, maybe you can be like, let's break a leg. Let's just have fun. Let us not just focus on, no, wear that bikini you want. But I'm not saying wear it and take photos. We are professionals, by the way. So, like, I mean, just be a little bit easy to yourself. Have fun. Talk about fun things that people would like to connect locally, because sometimes even your international audience are maybe relaxed, they're somewhere having fun, maybe you just need to connect with your audience. But at the end of the day, remember this: finding a balance depends on how you present yourself and maybe the kind of image you want to build and the connection you want to grow and how far you want your business to go. If your focus is to get the local businesses, it's good to actually create or find more time to create local content that will be consumed with the people that you target. But if you're someone like me who's like, oh, I want to work with Oxfam International, I want to work with Google, I want to be a continental influencer, please find a way you can sometimes go overboard with your international content where you speak to everyone, and then less Swahili. Sometimes I speak Swahili forgetting that I have the likes of Omo Lola on my timeline, then we'll be like, please translate. And I'll be like, oh, I need to translate. So find a way to also sometimes translate some content if you feel like you need to connect with that particular audience that is in the global scale. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So one thing I learned from all that you shared is about starting locally first, right? So I like that you were able to start in your own country, and then when you felt that, oh, it's time to expand, then you started to now connect to a global audience, right? Because I mean, for some creators, they are like, oh, I want to reach a global audience, right? But they don't even start locally, right? So you need to start by even showing up for your own locality first, right? So I really like that. I really like that, and I like the aspect of finding a balance between your local audience and your global audience, which is a really great one. So my next question would then be, what tools will you recommend that can help creators on social media that can help them grow? I mean, what social media tools do you think creators should be using?
Social media platforms are creators on their own, creator tools on their own. If you look at Instagram, it has a whole suite for you to edit everything if you want videos. TikTok, the same. And we are seeing each and every day the social media platforms are becoming like the same. And it will reach a point, I feel like everything will just be on one platform. You don't have to go to another platform. But to answer your question, I'll say this: for anybody who is looking into being a creator, and I don't want you to look at being just a local creator. By the way, right now everyone want to go international. And if you want to be an international creator, use a tool that will help you listen to your audience. When I'm talking about listening, is it will help you find a lot of information, data, to actually understand what are people consuming more, where are they, how are they interacting, what time are they doing it, And that is why I usually say use a tool like SEMrush. And gladly, by the way, I've done a very good course with SEMrush, which involves how to be able to grow your social media management. Because as a good creator, who is trying to find the right tools, you have to be a very good manager. And that is why we use tools in the first place. So I will try and send out, I don't know where I will put that link, so that people can access the course, so that they can actually at least understand what I mean by having a tool that will help you be able to balance everything out on your social media platforms. You don't need 10 tools, you just need one tool. Sometimes you might choose to have different tools depending on what are you exactly churning out. From number one, what are you creating? Is it a video? Is it a photo? Number two, what kind of content do you need? Do you need the text? Do you need the audio? And that is where maybe you think about, if you're, but they don't ever say you don't know how to create content. We are in the AI space. We are in the AI era. You can use ChatGPT. No one said you can't use it, only that you have to be very clever to know how exactly do you make people feel like they're not reading another in today's world era. You know, those statements that start with, you already know it's ChatGPT. You have to be a little bit smart to tweak it, you know. And for a matter of everything, I feel like every creator should be able to listen to their audience. And I'll repeat that because sometimes we think about creating, we post, and then we relax. The question is, the people we sent out that post to, did they really consume it? How many minutes did they take on that content? What did they learn? What did they click? Are you monitoring that? Are you listening to them? Use a tool that will help you monitor, listen. And please don't take a lot of time on social media. Take a tool that will help you manage your time wisely. Sometimes people will ask you, trust me, Patty, people have asked you, how long do you spend on social media in a day? They think you just sleep and wake up there. And maybe they think you only take coffees all the time, because that is what they usually say. You've been taking a lot of coffee the whole day. No, sometimes we are actually spending only 3 hours. Some time back, I was telling people that I usually track my social media usage, and sometimes in a week they tell me averagely I was on social media in 3 hours, and people are like, "But we saw you commenting at 6. We saw you posting at 2. Were you not on social media the entire time?" I'm like, "No, I used a tool. I planned my content. I scheduled my content. I gave myself 15 minutes to jump on social media and comment to people and engage with people." So find a balance to how can I be able to also be seen, but at the same time, not spend a lot of time doing tasks that tools can be able to do for you. Remind me to share that course, or maybe for easy access, just go to Google, search Janet Machuka social media management course, or just search social media management course on SEMrush, and you'll be able to access that course. It helps you understand how to be able to use the tools, how you can access them, how you can create your content, how you can manage your content, and also manage your personal brand as an individual.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. These are great tools, by the way, great tools that creators should be leveraging on, right? So the next question I will go to will then be about emerging social media trends. So what are the emerging social media trends you have noticed now that creators are paying attention to and you think will help them stay ahead in their field?
Wow. I love the questions because they still make me feel like I need to constantly be on the lookout what is happening, what is trending. For me, the first trend will be about people. And the reason why I say people is because sometimes people think a community is just about growing the numbers. For me, a community is all about people. And when I talk about a community, and people might be asking, why is it still a trend? Honestly, if you're not feeding the people, who are you feeding? If you're not growing a community, who are you growing? A community, segment your community into different parts. There's some will be like, okay, these are 100,000 followers, I'm a community. But maybe in that community, we have different types of communities, the micro communities. It can be about a community of fans, a community of fellow creators who want to learn from you, a community of people who are constantly being like, okay, I want to see what I can be able to give her next, be it a client or be it somebody you want to recommend you. So community is very key when it comes to social media trends. And if you are not part of a community, create a community. If you're not, you find that there's a community that you would have created that is already exists, collaborate. We are talking about video content, and people might be wondering, we started talking about video content a long time ago, and maybe the short videos started a long time ago, but it's still a trend. Funny thing is that I was talking to baby boomers. Sometimes when you're explaining things to people, they'll be like, you have to do it like a child. You're talking to a child, which is also amazing. Sometimes it teaches me a lot of patience. I was telling them, do you know we have another TikTok on LinkedIn? They're like, so TikTok has decided to bring the young people to our platform? I'm like, no, that's not what is happening. What is happening is that we are having a section on LinkedIn that actually has video formats, just like TikTok. They're like, so we are going to create videos. Now we are not going to take photos and share our. I'm like, no, it's about you trying to communicate in a way that is trendy. Where right now, sometimes I feel like, yes, as much as the younger generation is pushing a lot of trends to us, we have forgotten ourselves. We forget that we are the people who make the trends, is what we consume that is pushed out as something that is viral. That's something that is being watched by most of the people, consumed by most people. So video content is coming, even on LinkedIn. For those who are worried, how can I be able to build my professional personal brand at the same time use the videos? Check on LinkedIn. It has that shot. And right now, if you look at how LinkedIn is trying to expand, they're no longer being like, oh, share your congratulatory messages, or you have joined. We're trying to diversify. And that is where you have to understand that all social media platforms have become like one huge platform, only that you need to know, where do I need to be? AI. I think that is something we can't avoid speaking about if you're talking about trends. You're seeing the content creation aspect and how it's happening on social media. And funny thing right now, if you check on YouTube and maybe just search Afrobeat songs or mixes, you'll find that the top videos are done by AI. Or maybe they have an AI snippet or thumbnail. That's the funniest thing, by the way. And they're doing very well. I don't know, maybe if AI is also working on the SEO, and it's doing amazing stuff for people. I'm giving actually somebody an idea out there, because I know some channels that started like 3 months ago, and right now they have over 100,000 subscribers because they're just using AI. Honestly, maybe we need to learn these things. Maybe we can also build our own platforms or profiles using the AI, which is amazing. So AI is also another trend that I feel like everyone needs to know or learn. And as much as we're using it for content creation, we're using it for video production, editing, and everything, or even audio, maybe typing. Some of us actually no longer even want to type. We're like, let's just talk and let the AI do the thing for us. Make good use of those technologies. Don't let them do all your work. Just make sure you are smarter than them. That is another thing. I can literally go to LinkedIn and read 3 or 4 posts, and if you made your or created your content with ChatGPT, I would know, because there's a tone that it has all through. So also be smart enough to use this tool to ease your work, not just to do your work. So that is a trend I feel like everyone else is talking about, and it's working for everyone, and it's working for even the businesses. And that means you need to also hop in. How can you be able to use it to create your content, fasten your time of content creation, and also connecting with the next person? Right now, we don't need to spend a lot of time doing a simple task. Otherwise, someone else will do it for you. And that is AI. They call themselves even virtual assistants. I don't know. We have seen even Instagram influencers who are bots. They are actually AI, and we can't even distinguish the two. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. These were such they were so insightful, and I hope everyone watching is taking notes. See, I have my pen. I've been writing since. Anytime I'm looking down, I'm trying to write something, right? So it is important that even as we are here, as the speakers are sharing their knowledge, please, if you can take notes, right? I mean, this conference, this summit is for you, right? Thank you so much, and I like the AI that you mentioned. I always say that AI is meant to enhance our work. We are not meant to just totally rely on it. It should be an enhancer, right? So thank you so much for sharing. Um, So yeah, we'll take a break from you and then go to Othman now.
Hello, hello. Janet, that was incredible. I have so many notes, so many questions. I think Omolola froze. But Janet, that was incredible. I want to make a note. Meanwhile, Omolola is back. For everybody who's watching, notice how the top creators on social media don't spend much time on social media. So they're actually the ones that are using it the right way. Social media, you're not meant to just keep scrolling. It'll just control your life. I actually don't have social media on my phone at all. It sounds crazy because I make all my money from social media, but I don't even have the apps on my phone. So, but Janet, just I want you guys to see that shift of the ones that are making money from it and leading their best life. Don't use it the way the rest of 99% of the population does. So that was a big tip for everybody. Omolola, did you have any questions for me? Do you want me to just talk?
Oh, okay. I was already speaking. I think you went off for
Oh,
a
I think you
while.
froze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So my first question for you would be, what is your playbook for using social media to grow online businesses in Africa? I mean, now that you even mentioned that you don't have the apps, this is a very perfect question. So we need to know how you are doing it, right? So yeah.
All right. Sweet. Yeah, I love this question because actually, now for the first time ever, really, I'm going to start building my personal brand. So I'm going to have so many questions for Janet, Patty, Itiayo, all of you guys, and I hope to be able to connect later after this on podcasts. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. You guys agreed. Everybody, you saw they agreed, right? So we better see podcasts soon. So actually, I'm the real customer of social media. And everybody who's scrolling every day, you're the product, and I am buying you, and that's how I make money. So, social media, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, they all make their money from ad revenue, which means what? They collect data. So whatever you do, whatever you behave, whatever you talk about, whatever hashtags you engage with, they have these algorithms that know exactly what's happening on the app and what you're engaging with. And from that, they categorize you into these different buckets. They know exactly what you do, the type of behavior that you take. And from that, they put that nicely for advertisers. So advertisers like myself, we come in and we say, hey, I want to show ads to people that are most likely, for example, I'm trying to think of an example, that are most likely to buy glasses this week. And all I got to do is go, for example, if I do it on Facebook, go to, or not even Facebook, let's do Google, because I spend about 750 thousand US dollars on YouTube alone, YouTube ads. And I can literally tell Google to show ads to people who searched, I want to buy, for example, Ray-Ban Meta glasses now. Literally, it's insane. It's crazy how accurate this stuff is. And all of a sudden, like, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you guys ever feel like you see the right ad at the right time and it's creepy, right? Or you just talk about something with your friends or family and you see an ad about that? Creepy, right? Well, for me, I love it. When they say it's like privacy issues, for me, I'm like, oh, keep going, take all the privacy. I need this information, right? So we don't have access to the data specifically, but we can target people with that behavior. So, for example, my business was doing really well. We were doing 250 to 350,000 US dollars a month consistently for like 15 months, 16 months. And all of a sudden, my business tanked overnight. Why? Because and there was a scandal called the Cambridge Analytica scandal, where essentially the politics were swayed because the advertisers had too much data and they were able to target the right people and move them more towards what they wanted, and from a political standpoint. And so later on, what happened is every couple of years, Meta, TikTok, Snapchat, all these companies, Google, get in trouble with the government of the United States because they're giving out too much information to the advertisers, and they have to like restrict the data that we have access to advertise. So our target audience was a religious. We're working with Muslim men specifically. That was just my target audience, the people, the community that I was working with, that I was identifying with, and we could no longer target them. So our business just tanked because we could no longer target the audience. So now, we've launched multiple businesses since then in different industries. And we can target anybody and make money from them literally within 24 hours just with running ads. Literally, it's that straightforward. In fact, just this week, I was like, let me try different African countries for my product. Let me just try it. I turned on Zimbabwe, and actually, I could check the stats right now on my computer. Let me just check. So I give you something accurate, but it's pretty ridiculous what you have access to if you just understand how to use these platforms, right? So social media, you can use all of it to your advantage from the backside of it, from the ads standpoint. So that's how I use social media. I make money using the advertising sides of the platform. So wherever you see sponsored ads, an ad on your YouTube, an ad that's following you around the internet until you buy, that's the part of social media that I use. And so I told you guys, I just launched, this is insane. I'm actually going to read this out to you guys out loud. Okay. So actually, I just tested Ghana. I spent $14 in Ghana this week and made $210. That's pretty insane, right? And I'm putting small budgets because I don't know the market. I'm testing out the market. Let me give you one that Tanzania. I never even thought of advertising in Tanzania. I tested it. I spent $7.94 and I made $103.83. This is just in the past couple of days. Zimbabwe, never knew. Not as high of a margin, but I spent $7.87 and made $29. Pretty crazy how you can just, with social media, if you use it the right way, the backside of it, the advertising platforms, you can target and find your community that Jenna was talking about. You can find the right people and put the right message in front of them at the right time. And that's the easiest way to make social media work for you, especially if you have 0 followers. You don't have time to wait a year to grow your following, but you want to make money from social media. This is the fastest way to do it. You just give it a couple of dollars in exchange for the result that you want. So that's my advice to use social media to get results and grow really quickly, is use the paid side.
Thank you so much for sharing. Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
now this will take me to my next question. Now that you've told us that you focus more on the advertising side of things, so what are your strategies for building sales funnels that converts viewers into buyers?
Perfect. So I'm going to answer your question in a way that probably is unexpected, but if you guys are just starting out, like let's all agree that we're all talking about becoming a creator and growing our social media platform or having an influence and followers because we want to run a business. That's why Janet even mentioned, like, people just want to be popular for the sake of being an influencer. No, you guys, let's be honest. You're here to build a business. You're here to make money, right? And if that's really your goal, I'm going to tell you what I wish I knew when I first started. Don't build a business. Don't build a product. Don't build a funnel. You know why? Because it doesn't matter how good your funnel is. It doesn't matter how good your design is. If you don't know how to get customers to come buy from you, you're not going to make any money. Think about it. Let's take McDonald's, for example, right? It's the most successful franchise chain in the world. They literally sell billions of burgers per year. You put McDonald's in the middle of the Sahara, of the desert. How much money are they going to make? I want you guys to go and answer in the comments for a second. Okay, assuming answers are in. $0. Why? They have no visitors, even though they have a good product. It's unhealthy, but a good product. You understand? They have no traffic. They have no visitors. Nobody knows they exist. But if I take you, for example, I'm just going to use this example because I come from North America. You go to New York, very busy, right? Imagine your city, your busiest city, your busiest market in your town. And you go to a shop that sells sandwiches, and they have like rats and cockroaches running around. But it's in the middle of a starving crowd. People are hungry and they're passing by. Are they going to make more money than the McDonald's in the desert? Yeah, they are. What does that mean? It doesn't matter how good your product is. What matters is if there's enough people walking and knowing that you exist, you'll make money eventually, right? So my advice for you guys, if you're starting out, okay, you haven't made money online yet, do not start by building out a product. Why? You're going to invest time trying to figure out what to sell. You're going to try to build out an email sequence, buy a domain. All this you have to learn. You have to build a funnel. You have to use the right software. You have to pay for a software subscription. You have to, that's money out. You have to, you don't even know people want to buy the product. You have to do market research. And all these are just roadblocks. Seller is a platform that literally has, I don't know how many, but thousands of products. We have our product on Seller. Thousands of products that have been proven, tested. You can probably even go and find if there are sales for those products. that people that are entrepreneurs like myself, for example, we spent millions of dollars, right? We made millions of dollars. We've tested markets. We spent on ads. You come and just piggyback off of our success. Go take a funnel that you like, that you can relate to, that you can talk about from the affiliate marketplace. The funnel is already built. The product is already built. Learn the skill of driving traffic to them. Learn the skill of traffic. Once you figure out traffic and you can master traffic, send to somebody else's product and get paid while you learn how to generate traffic, then go and build your own product, because it's a learning curve. And if you spend too much trying to build a product and then you send traffic and you send like 20 visitors to your website and you don't get a sale, you'll get depressed and you say, oh, this doesn't work, I'm going to give up. No. The goal is for you to make your first dollar as quickly as humanly possible, because that's going to make you believe that this is possible. That my first sale was $10. I made it in the first week. It made me believe that this was possible, right? And so you want to get your first sale as quickly as possible so you can believe and commit to this journey and for the long run, because you need to commit for the long run and be able to weather the lows to enjoy the highs. And so for that reason, I actually don't recommend you guys, if you're just starting out, and I assume that's most of our audience here, to build a product, go find one from the affiliate marketplace. Okay, you'll get your payout instantly within a day or two, depending on the payout dates for those currencies, and start earning as quickly as possible. Once you do that and you're confident, you learn the skill of traffic, then go build your own offer. But building a product before learning how to drive traffic is like getting the egg before the chicken. I'm not good with analogies, but something like that. It doesn't work. You have to learn traffic first. So focus on traffic, send it to somebody else's funnel.
Wow, thank you so much. I've never really thought about that, to be honest, but it really sounds like a great thing to do. Yeah, so focus on traffic and use
Yes.
somebody else's, please. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, to
Thank you
start.
so much.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
so much. Okay, so over to Patty now. My first question for you would be, what are your top sales tactics creators can employ to generate sales from social media?
Thank you so much for the question. I think Othman and Janet have actually answered this question if you listen closely. The first one I would say is build genuine connections with your audience. That's the first thing, because it's by building genuine connections out of the community you have is how you know what their needs are, what their problems are, the solutions they're looking for, and all of that. And so you're able to create a product that meets their needs. The second thing is being able to build traffic. Yeah. So there's something we call the value ladder, value service ladder. And it's basically asking that the more value you provide to the customer, the higher you can earn. And so there's something they also call the lead magnets. You'll be told. So in my creator space, I do a lot of digital products sales and all of that. Now your lead magnets is usually thrown around, but the concept behind this, it's for it to be able to generate traffic for you to be able to sieve out the people that can potentially become paid customers. Yeah. And so your content on social media is also a lead magnet. It is attracting the people that have interest, because the social media platform has a wide array of people just scrolling through, and so that person that hits the follow button most likely has found some form of value on your platform, and so would want to stay on to see what else you can offer. So build a genuine connection with your people, build their audience. If you ask any creator, they will tell you that the longer they've been in the game, the better whatever it is they launch performs, because over time they've been able to provide value upon value upon value, and then they're able to sell to the people. We build really great connections. There are people who have been in every single thing I've launched, not because they need it necessarily, but because they're like, if it's Patty, I'm purchasing it because I know that there's going to be value in there. So those are the fundamental things I would need you to focus on. Now, in terms of tactics or strategies, one of the things I would say is that pace your products out. Yeah. Pace it out, give it time. There's something that happens when you are constantly showing up to sell. Your audience starts feeling like this lady or this guy only cares about the money she's making for me. And so they can sort of put you in the back burner, but give as much value as you are selling. You'll get to the point where people are asking for paid things without you even asking for money, right? So strategically pace your product so that your customers do not feel like you are just taking from them. This is I think it's a general principle in sales that a lot of customers do want to feel like you value them, you value the solution you are giving them more than the money. Another thing I would ask is read the room, have conversations. Yeah, have conversations with these people that you are engaging with. So again, the value ladder. Somebody can be in a webinar with you. They signed up for the webinar, which is like $10. You give them great value. However, you realize that this person's learning threshold is not group what's the what word you they won't do well in a group setting. They would
Yeah.
prefer that you hold their hand through the process. And so that is where you're able to tell that, okay, so let me upsell this person into a one-on-one session, right? And so always pay attention to the questions people are asking and provide solutions that you've already mapped out for them. There are people who want to be able to ask certain questions after they've bought a particular product. You don't leave them there simply because I only promised a 5-day workshop. We are done. So I'm not going to, keep nurturing them, keep giving them value, even when what they've paid for has ended. Because trust me, I know that especially in the African space, we push the narrative of after they've paid for the webinar and the webinars, and then they can't slide into your DM
Yeah.
to ask you the
Yeah.
extra questions. But trust me, there's something you get from even creating, if it's a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group, and keep them there and answer questions periodically. What you are doing is that you are building relationships with them, and it's easy for you to come back to them and say that, oh, hi guys, based on all the questions you were asking me in the last class, I am bringing you another class. That is a controlled traffic that you've kept in that group. But if you had just let them go, you have to market to
Yeah.
them
That makes a
over and
lot of
over and
sense.
over again. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So let's not restrict the value we are giving to just the thing that the customer paid for, but let's give
Yeah.
them just a little, excess. And you know what's interesting? When you create that WhatsApp group and you put them in there, you get your testimonials easier.
Yeah.
Yes,
That makes a
because
lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so
yes,
much.
you
Thank you
get
so
a
much.
lot more
I
testimonials.
it
Because
honestly makes a lot of sense. It also
yeah,
honestly makes a lot of sense. Especially because like there's still like you said, there's the narrative that when in Nigeria or in Africa, when maybe their subscription is done or your class is done with them too, they can't like you can't talk to me anymore. We're done. We can't give extra value. But it makes so much sense that you can also create something for them, or even still sometimes offer them maybe like free support. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, Patty, for that. For explaining that because I have never heard it in that kind of like in that light before. So thank you so much for that. So I'm
yeah,
going to move
most
on to Itiayo. Hi, Itiayo.
Hi.
Hi. Look, thank you so much. I'm a big fan of yours, so I'm
Well,
not going to
thank
find
you.
you alone here. So I'm just going to get into the question. So my first question here is, what's your advice for creators who want to implement more video into their content? I mean, the algorithm loves video so much, but
Mhm.
maybe they don't have like the technical know-how, like you do. But what would be your advice for them, getting into that space?
Okay, so the simplest thing basically, and it always sounds like everybody's saying the same thing over and over again. But the only way you can start is to just start. You start with what you have, with whatever it is you have. If you have a phone, you have a camera, whatever it is that you have, you just start with it. You don't you it doesn't have to be anything too fancy. So the problem is with the way social media is right now, you have people using the best lights, the best cameras that people use to shoot movies. You have people using them to make videos for Instagram. So there's a lot of pressure, but the truth is you can have the best cameras and not know what to do with it. I film with a Nikon D750. In the photography world and the video world, a Nikon is called a potato because it's supposed to be very bad at making videos. So my point is, so a lot of people ask, oh, what do you film with? Blah blah blah. They assume it's either a Sony or a Canon. But like I said, I use a
That's
Nikon. So
it.
my point is this: whatever it is you have, if you have a phone, it may not be the best phone, but just start with that. And then it also doesn't have to be anything too complicated. It could be for any business. People like to see BTS, people like to see transitions, people like to see before and
Okay. Yeah.
after. So I feel like just show people your process. There are many videos, we've seen videos of how they make crocs. I don't know, for me personally, whenever I watch those type of videos, I'm just like, oh, I never thought this was how this was made,
Yeah. Oh,
basically.
I've seen
So I
those
think,
videos.
yes, things like that interest people. So just show people your process. You'll be surprised at how much reach the simplest things will get.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Especially with the just start. People tend to feel like that's a very overused advice. But I think it's as simple as it is. Like just start with
Yes.
what you have. Thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing that.
Yes.
Okay, hi Otman. My name is Lydia. How are you? Sorry, you're muted.
Great, thanks. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Okay, so I have a question for you. And my
Okay.
question is, what are some common pitfalls creators face when trying to grow online? And how can they avoid this to achieve financial success? Because at the same time, yes, people are doing what they're passionate about, but nobody will want to be broke and doing what they're passionate about. So what are some pitfalls that, people usually get into when creating content online? And how can, people on this call avoid that as they try to achieve financial success?
Okay, so love the question. You know the whole thing about passion, why they say this thing? You know why people say do what you're passionate about? It's only for one reason, from what my understanding, anyways. They say do something you're passionate about because you'll never stop working on it. And because you love it so much, you'll never stop working. And therefore, it's only a matter of time before you get results. That's basically where it comes from.
That makes a
Technically,
lot of
if
sense.
you're
I
if
just
you're
want to
just
stop you
able to
there.
keep
Like, that makes a lot of sense.
great. If you're able to just keep working and just learn to love the work, that enough and just never stop. For example, I actually wanted to start a brand and my friends are like, don't do it for entrepreneurs. I wanted to call it cockroaches. Because if you're able to be resilient, as much as a cockroach, just never be killed and never stop working and keep getting up and just keep coming back. You know, it's the oldest species since the era of the dinosaurs. They're still around. If you're able to keep working and no matter, it doesn't matter, Rocky Balboa said, it doesn't matter how hard you get hit. What matters is how many times you keep getting back up. If you're able to do that, you'll win. Guaranteed. It's not, I'm a university dropout. I never finished school. I grew up with a single mother. I met my dad 5 years ago. All of a sudden, I have 4 little siblings I never knew I had. So it doesn't matter what hand you're dealt. It doesn't matter where you live. You have the internet. We have AI. You can access customers all around the world. And I heard Janet saying, like, we want to access customers globally. Why? I'm leaving globally and I'm coming to Africa, right? There's money everywhere, right? The limitations are in our heads. And so passion, pursue your passion. You'll never quit and you could probably make money in it. There are crazy amount of niches or niches around the globe, and you just go on Google and search the niches, and as long as there are people there, you can sell something to them. People are buying the weirdest things. So whatever your passion is, it's only the people say that just because normally when it's your passion, you just are able to withstand failures a little bit longer. That's why it's there. That's why people say that. So as long as, for me, it's just I just love the challenge of entrepreneurship. I love the game. I just love it so much, and that's what keeps me going. I'll just never quit. I'm not able to. Sometimes I'll joke to my wife, like, I'm done. I quit. I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. 2 minutes later, I'm like at my computer just working. So as long as you're able to keep working, withstand the failures, you're fine. And so that's that first part of the question. Second part was how to face common pitfalls to make cash, is what you said, to make money. Honestly, it's just not knowing where to start. I feel like people are starting at the wrong place. People are starting by trying to build a product. People are starting by, trying to be famous on social media overnight, right? That's not how it works. First skill you need to make money. First of all, to make money, you need to study money. How many of you guys study money? Our financial institutions, our schools don't teach us about money. They don't teach us how to make money. They don't teach us how to keep it, right? I made millions. I lived in the tallest building in the world, Burj Khalifa, and I lost everything. I know how to make it. I don't know how to keep it yet. I'm still trying to learn that part. I have so much to learn. It's crazy. I'm so much behind what I could be, and I'm ahead what I used to be. So wherever you are, be proud of the fact that you are here listening to this. You're already in a good place. Like I'm sure you last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, didn't even know about this kind of stuff. You're in a good spot. So the next advice would be really just know where to start, right? There's a lot of advice out there. Unfortunately, there's information on YouTube, but it's free. They don't really benefit. They really want the ad revenue. They don't really make any money from you. So they're not going to give you the best advice, right? Unfortunately, you got to pay to play. Unfortunately, my first purchase, I borrowed money from my mom's credit card. Very difficult, especially as a proud man, to borrow money from mama. Embarrassing. I did it, but then I stepped up to the plate. I made $53,000 in 3 weeks. I know it sounds crazy. It was crazy to me too. It still is today to say that, right? You have to pay to play. Invest in a course, whether it's $2, $5, $10, whatever is within your means, you have to pay. You need the pain of pulling money out of your pocket, money that feels difficult to pull out. The more difficult it is to pull out, the more you're going to commit and the more you're going to show up. Because the truth is, for example, a good friend of mine and a mentor, you guys probably know Russell Brunson, the founder of ClickFunnels. He said he had in his inner circle when he first launched it. I was in it the past year, but when he first launched his inner circle, these are people that made over $1 million in a single funnel with a single product. He charged $50,000 for that. And when he invited his friends and family to join in, and then people that paid $50,000 all had the same information. Those that didn't pay didn't get any results, and those that did pay went on to build incredible businesses. You have to pay. It has to hurt a little bit. It has to. Stop looking for freebies. Stop trying to get everything for free. Go pull out some money. You don't have any, borrow it. Feel the embarrassment of borrowing money. Go borrow some money and pay for something. Pay for knowledge. That's number one. Second thing I'm going to tell you right now to really help you shortcut your success, don't go buy a product and teach you how to build a product from scratch, because that's going to take time. It's not going to work the first time. Since my last product and the new product that's working, I spent $200,000 and lost it all trying to build products and failed. Okay, it's not easy. Go find a product that's already working. Go to Seller, affiliate platform. Go find something that's already working and learn the skill of traffic. Because if you learn how to build a product, okay, now you make amazing products. Cool. So what? It doesn't put money in your bank. It's not going to feed you. It's not going to pay your rent. It's not going to pay your bills. You need to pay your bills. You need to go and feel good about yourself. You need a little dopamine hit. You got to feel good. You got to feel like it's working. You got to feel like you have momentum in order to be able to last. Okay, so the goal is for you to make your first dollar. I don't care if it's 10 or 100. No, I want you to make $1 as quickly as humanly possible. The fastest way to do it is today. Go to the affiliate platform on Seller. Go find a product, low ticket, something cheap, $3, $2, $5, because the lower the ticket, the higher the purchase rate. So you'll get that first win fast.
Yeah.
That's number one. And then the easiest thing you can do, honestly, is go and take a product that's from the platform that has a lot of searches or whatever. Go on YouTube. Do a quick short video or a quick YouTube video and say, this product review, or buy it yourself and go do a quick little review on it. Why? Because so many people are trying to buy that product, but they're like, I'm not sure. I need to go search information about it. They'll go search online. Hey, review about this product. They'll find your video. They'll click on your affiliate link in your comment and they'll buy. That is the fastest way you can make your first sale. Fastest way. Learn traffic first. Learn traffic. Once you control traffic, you can control buyers. You can control buyers. And it's just an optimization and margins to make more money, and customer success and customer satisfaction to increase the longevity of your business. But the first skill you need to make money is learning how to control traffic. Once you control traffic, you can either sell it as a service as an agency, you can rent to somebody else's affiliate offer, or you can run it for your own products. But traffic is more important than learning how to build a product. So the first thing you need to do, go find an offer on the Seller. You don't have any more money to spend on paid ads? That's fine. Go on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, make a quick little video reviewing that product. Buy it first. I actually recommend you buy it first. $3, $5. Look at it, make an honest review, put the affiliate link in your comments, and you'll make money within the next 7 days. You can come back and thank me. I'll look forward to your DM on Instagram. Say, Othman, thank you so much. I did what you said last week on the Seller platform, and it worked. Thank you. Just do that. Once you do that, you will be able to last and just keep going. I hope that helps.
Okay, thank you so much for that. That made a lot of sense. I really like what you said about passion, because what people say, oh, do what you're passionate about and you never work a day in your life. And people always say, oh, that doesn't sound right. And then hearing you say, oh, do what you're passionate about because you're going to keep working on it, because you're so interested in it, you will keep working on it. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was really, really amazing.
My pleasure.
Itiayo, back to you. Back to you. Like I said, I'm a fangirl. And one of my favorite things about you is not the video quality, it's not the angles, it is the storytelling. All right, it is the storytelling. And my next question would be, what's your
Thank
advice
you.
for, my my pleasure. My next question for you is, what's your advice for developing your story muscles? To how what would you advise someone like me who's trying to get better at storytelling, regardless of the niche?
Okay, so this is a difficult one for me because I feel like I'm still learning storytelling basically. But I think what has helped me is just stripping down my message to like the basics. So I do more vlogs. Yeah, I do more vlogs basically, and then so for my vlogs, I did an out. So I do an outline, basically like a script.
Okay.
It's scripting, but it's not. Sorry, I have a code.
Verbal. That's fine.
It's
Sorry.
scripting, but it's not so detailed. It's not as big of a deal as it sounds. So I just break down everything I want to pass across. I break them down into little lines basically. So I want my followers to, I want whoever is watching the video to be able to tell what is going on. I don't want to just
Okay.
jump from one scene to the other, and then you're
Yeah.
wondering if, let's take for example as simple as a morning routine. You wake up, you wash your face, have your bath, brush, have breakfast. That's basically what we are doing. And then you want to break it down in to simple tasks. This is what I do. I break it down to simple tasks. So the first thing I'm going to do, I write it down into a simple line, so it's as straightforward as possible. And then I now go on to film it in a way that I really don't know how to put it into words, but basically everything transitions, because I don't speak in my videos. I use just
Yeah.
visuals. I don't talk in my videos. So I want you to be able to sit down and watch and understand everything that is going on. So my advice to you would be to write down your story, whatever the message it is you want to pass across, and look for ways for visuals that can tell that story. Simple visuals, doesn't have to be anything too deep.
Fancy.
Just simple
Yeah.
visuals, basically. Write it out line by line as much as possible. Each message you want to pass across, each line, translate it into a visual. That's the best way I can put it. And then now go ahead to film it. And another thing I do is at the end
Yeah.
of every video, when I'm done filming a video, I give it to someone to watch, especially someone that has no idea what the video is about. So if that
Makes
person can
sense.
understand what the video is about, then I feel like everybody else should be able to understand what the video is about. So
That makes a lot of sense. That
hope
makes a
that
lot of
helps.
sense. Thank you so much for that. Well, let me just try to summarize what you said. You said breaking, what you want to film into simple tasks, basically. Into making it chronological, so people who are kind of like who are watching are able to understand, what's going on. So let me give an example, and you tell me if this is right. For example, if I wanted to shoot a day in my life, instead of if I wanted to be very intentional with how I shot it, I would literally just break it down into the things I would usually do in a day in my life, from praying to maybe going to brush my teeth, drinking coffee, whatever. Like, and just kind of like, thank you so much. That made a lot of sense actually, because I think for
Thank
most
you.
people are just trying to shoot like so many things at the same time, and sometimes it loses context. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go back to Janet. Hi, Janet. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Hello.
Okay, great. So you spoke about the use of AI,
Mm.
and I found that really intriguing even before I joined the call. I found that really intriguing. So I guess my next question would be um my next question for you would be, how do you currently feel about how AI is being used in like the creator community? Not just in the sense of just writing, but when it comes to like other things of like, let's say, image generation, video generation, how do you feel about it as a creator?
I think we sometimes ignore what AI entails because I feel like some people always think AI has to do with, oh, we're creating content on ChatGPT, we are creating videos, photos on Mid Journey, but it's where it goes as simple as the listening tools because the algorithms
Okay.
on social media are actually work on AI. They're built on AI knowledge. And if you look at the
Okay.
simple things some of the people do without even knowing, is listening and monitoring their audience using the AI tools. The fact that they have automated the work for you, you don't have to go and count the number of people who checked your video, who commented on your content. It helps you be able to do so many tasks in a very short time. So I don't want people to overthink AI, and that is what most of the time we do. Until I think ChatGPT came, everyone didn't. When they heard of artificial intelligence, they were like, that is for the techies. But what if we told you you're using AI without even knowing? You've been looking forward to how the algorithm works, what is changing, how the trends are changing on the different social media platforms. You're learning it without knowing. You're using the tools, maybe for example, to create auto-generated captions without even knowing. How we are using them as creators, sometimes we might not know, but we're using AI in almost everything that we're doing at the moment, be it from creation, from execution, to also monitoring, to even doing the analytics itself. Just about the analytics, because I think most of the people think analytics is just another facet of digital marketing or digital, and that is it.
Yeah.
Analytics actually sits on AI knowledge. And that is what we usually say if you are doing a data science, a data analytics course, high chances are you learn about artificial intelligence. So don't overthink
Yes,
AI.
definitely.
Using AI in so many ways as a creator, just it's about you learning and maybe doing more research to actually know the tools that you're using are using the AI knowledge. So don't fear the aspect of, oh, I don't know how to use AI. I've not learned anything about machine learning. I've not got into any class. You can use it. You don't have to have a certificate from Google, certificate from any other platform that is offering it. So take it as that simple thing that you can automate using the tool that can help you do exactly that. And speaking of the trends and the
Okay.
algorithm, I know sometimes every creator is trying to beat the algorithm. Trust me, you never know. You might be that person to beat the algorithm. So do your thing, be unique in what you do and create.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. It really helps to hear you say, don't overthink AI. Don't overthink AI. I think most times people are quote unquote scared of using AI because they've overthought it. Oh, artificial intelligence is coming for our jobs and the rest. So thanks so much for sharing that. Back to you, Patty. Back to you. So I have a question for you, and this will be the last question. Don't worry, it's the last question. Um, my question for you would be, in what ways would you say personal branding has helped you grow your business? And how do you think other creators and business owners can also leverage personal branding?
Mm. All right. So the first thing I would say is, so before I answer your question, there's something Othman said, which I'm a living testimony for. So paying for courses is very essential.
Okay.
The side of paying for courses that has helped me is so everybody has like a terror barrier or a threshold on the amount of money you can spend, and the amount of money you can spend on a course influences how much you can charge. Yes. So the first time I paid for a book study, it was $350,350, which is a lot of money if you are in Africa. It's a lot of money. And it was just for an 8 week book study. But that did a lot for me mentally when it comes to making money, because I knew that once I had paid somebody for it, I can also be paid for that. So it's very important that we do a lot of mindset things as creators as well. It's not only limited to all the heavy lifting that we are doing on social media. So let's break those limiting beliefs we have as creators. Personal branding is key,
Thank you so much for that.
not only on as a creator, but everything and anything at all. Because now even the corporate bodies are hiring people that have proof of their expertise. Yeah, we are saying that we everybody now wants to hire somebody that can actually do the work, not just your CV saying all the nice and fancy stuff. We want to have proof that you can actually bring the transformation we are looking for in our business, or
Yeah.
in whatever space we are looking to put you in. So the first thing is, first of all, positioning yourself as a thought leader or as an authority in whatever space you find yourself. As a creator, especially for those that are looking to bag brand partnerships and all of that, your personal branding is what speaks for you when you are not in the room. When the agencies and the brands are having conversation, there are key things they are looking out for. Does this person's brand align with the campaign we are running? Does this person's, character? Because sometimes you can have awesome content, you can create awesome things, but maybe the way you speak is not in alignment with the brand's values, and so they will not go with you as a choice. And so you'll be wondering, how come I am doing all these awesome things and I'm not being chosen? It is your personal branding. So how do you want to be perceived as an individual, especially in rooms that you are not in, so that you are ranked up there? Personal branding has helped me in so many ways. I wouldn't be in Ghana and my face would be on a billboard in Nigeria. Like, how is that possible? If I didn't build my personal brand and then
Yeah.
establish authentic conversations, authentic relationships with people. So Milton and I became friends. We've never met. So Milton is the CMO of Seller. We've never met in person. We've just been engaging online, and we are constantly having conversations about, being creators. We are talking about Seller. If I have any challenge, I'm having conversations with him. So apart from me being online and showing my expertise, I've also been able to establish a relationship with the key people in the places that I would want to be in someday. So if I happen to find myself in Rwanda, or I happen to find myself in in Kenya, I would give Janet a call, because based on the personal brand we've both built, we'll be able to establish, some level of
The
connection.
relationship.
I can't
Yeah.
reach out to Janet if I don't have any form. If I don't impress her on this call, I can't reach out to Janet, Itiayo, or Othman. It just, they won't mind me. They will just treat me as any other person, that doesn't have any value to offer. But I can see for a fact that everybody in any space is looking for an ally in another country, in another city. And one of the ways you
Definitely.
can position yourself as that is by building your personal brand. Building my personal brand now, I fully fund my lifestyle. I'm a single lady. I don't have any sugar daddy. I don't have a dad who is pumping money into my business. Everything is funded by my expertise, and that is by intentionally building my personal brand and attracting opportunities that pay. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, I don't
No.
want to take. There are so many questions I would love to ask each and every one of you, but I don't want us to, stay too long on the call. But we will definitely be reaching out, because the things you guys are saying, it's giving mind blowing. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for honoring our invite. Thank you so much for being a part of this summit. It's something we work very hard on every year to produce. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and for sharing your values with the African creators across the globe. So thank you so much, Otman. Thank you so much, Jenna. Thank you so much, Patty. Thank you so much, Itiayo. I give you thank you. So many thank yous from Milton and from Douglas. So thank you so much.